Boxing on Channel 5. Defending his name, his legacy. Harlem Eubank. Battling his way up the super lightweight rankings. Can he remain undefeated? Big Fight Live. Eubank versus Uruzquieta. Friday at 10 on Channel 5.
This is Joe Pugh for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. We're here at the Bronx Gym. It's the start of your fight week. Just had the median day. Harlem Eubank, first of all, how are we?
Very well, raring to go.
Just very quickly talking off camera about the pronunciation of your opponent on Friday night. I really don't want to even try and butcher it myself, so we'll call him Christian for the sake of this interview. But how much do you know about him, and what do you think he's going to bring to the table on Friday night?
He's a good fighter. He comes to win. He's upset prospects before. He's fought at a very good level. Strong record. And he's coming to win. This is the fight we're expecting, and the fight we're also prepared for and looking to put on a statement performance here.
In the press release, it said that you're looking to go on to British and European level by the end of this year. In your mind, is this that last little step up before we can get to see you in with some really big names towards the mid to back end of this year?
I hope so. I've been calling for the names. I've been trying to make these fights. I want to fight the best in the division, and that's where I'm at, and that's where I'm heading. And I think those are the fights that we're looking at.
Obviously, you can't overlook Friday night at all, but you're back out at York Hall. As we saw from last week in Bolton, these Wasserman shows on Channel 5 bring huge audiences, and we know with the extra added name value that you will always bring, that's a given. How impressed are you by what Wasserman are providing with this platform on Channel 5?
It's great. This platform, the terrestrial viewers that get to see the fights is unmatched. 1.5 million viewers last time. My last fight, 1.2 million. Hopefully this week we can bring them numbers up again, and it's just amazing that we work on the craft tirelessly, developing in the art form over years and years, and now the people can get to see that with these terrestrial shows being brought to the eyes of people who wouldn't necessarily tune into boxing or aren't boxing fans already, but they'll turn over and see the fight, see the action, and be gripped by it.
There's been a lot of speaking the media over the past couple of weeks about platforms, who's been seeing what, with Joshua Buatsi's comments about the zone. But on a personal level for you, how important is it that people are watching you and your profile is building? Because, as you just said, you're training every day of the week and you want people to see your craft.
That's it. We're perfecting the craft behind closed doors. A lot of hard work, a lot of repetition going in, and the platform is the platform is the fight. That's where you want people to see this work. That's the art form that you've developed. This is what boxing's about. People, you need an audience to see that, and different platforms have different ways of accessing the people. So yeah, I mean, it's up for debate which one is the most accessible to people, but it's essential that the people can see the product that we're creating and the art form we're developing, and it's entertainment, and we want to deliver that to the people.
Just watching you on the pads there, insane speed, I've got to say. Just how has camp been, obviously, with Adam and Charlie?
Thank you very much. Developing all the time. I'm a student of the art form, and I believe I'm heading towards the top end of the division, and we're perfecting it. We're developing each and every day with Charlie and Adam. Great coaches. Been working with them for a long time now, and it's starting to show. It's starting to play out, and I'm starting to do it in these fights that we're seeing against good opposition that every time come to win, and every time bring 110% to the table to try and dethrone me, with that Eubank name and that pedigree that comes with that.
You said you're aiming and you're close, you feel, towards that top of that division. The top domestically with the British title is Dalton Smith. He's been put on a pedestal as one of the top prospects in probably world boxing. Do you think that's a fight we could potentially see this year?
That's a fight that I'd love. That's a fight I've been calling for, and that's a fight I want this year. So let's make it happen.
We've seen fighters come over in the short time that Wasserman have worked with Channel 5 to be on the platform. Do you believe that a deal could be worked out for Dalton and yourself to fight on Channel 5?
Most definitely. I've let my promoters know that that's a fight I want. I've been very, very bold in saying that. Again, he's one of the top fighters in the division, and I believe I'm one of the top. And boxing's about the best fighting the best, I'd be very excited for that fight. And I've been outspoken that I want it. Yeah.
Is it important for you to get that title as well, the British title?
Yes, it's great. My cousins won it before. There's a lot of history behind that belt, and I feel like it's all the process coming through. From the beginning, kicking down the doors myself, not having opportunity, making a lane for myself. I feel like it's only right that I hold that belt, and I believe that I'm ready to hold it.
You mentioned your cousin. We do have to speak about him. Obviously, he's been in the headlines over the past 24 to 48 hours. Once again, it's looking like that the fight with Conor will happen. Abu Dhabi is the word. 3rd of June is the date. Were you shocked to see that in the news?
Not shocked. I think they've been calling. They want the biggest fights, and I think Chris is the biggest fight out there for him. There's a lot of other factors around it, but it's going to get the people excited regardless. See all the press around the drug situation has probably only made the fight bigger, and I understand it from his point of view, wanting the biggest payday. At the end of the day, we're prize fighters, so I understand that aspect. From Chris's perspective, I'm close to my cousin, and that fight has to be at 160, as Chris Senior stated, and he's right in stating he's experienced in the sport, he's been there and done it, and if that fight happens, it should only happen at 160, and he shouldn't be drained down, as we all saw last time, to face off against Conor. That fight has to be at 160 if it happens, and if it doesn't, there's plenty of other challenges there for Conor at his actual weight class in 147, and if anything, he's closer to my weight class.
As someone who is so close to Junior, do you feel like the issues with the drug test have been resolved enough, and you believe that Conor has proven his innocence in order for this fight to take place in a morally correct way, shall we say?
After watching the first Piers Morgan, I thought it was a little bit of a car crash, looking at it on first view. I then rewatched it, and after rewatching it, I believe he's innocent, because how can a man go into Piers Morgan, someone that's known for exposing people, and give the account of him, and give him the account of himself that he gave? If he was guilty, like a guilty man would run from that. And that's, on second view, that's what's made me believe that maybe this kid is innocent. This is an innocent guy speaking here, because he's gone into, the lion's den, where it's quite obvious that Piers Morgan is the king of exposing these little intricacies, and I just don't believe a guilty man would put himself there.
Were you shocked that it looks like Chris is going down the Benn route rather than taking that rematch with Liam Smith?
I think both fights are always going to be there. So it's just a matter of what order they take place in, and maybe the fight with Conor is the one to take, because you never know what's going to happen down the line in terms of if the hype, or the the undefeated, unblemished record, personality, is going to attract the same. I think while it's fresh, I think while that rivalry is fresh, they don't like each other even more now, you know, because of the situation. And the first time there was no real animosity. This time there's animosity. There's a dislike for each other, and that's going to create an even better build-up for the second one.
Just last one on this. You said that the fight has to be at 160, and I think that's universally agreed now. Even Conor and Eddie have said we'll do the fight at 160. But even at 160 for the Liam Smith fight, there was still question marks over whether Chris looked drained at the weight. In your opinion, do you believe that he still makes 160 comfortably?
I think at 160, Chris will destroy Conor. A fully fit, fully prepared 160-pound Chris will destroy Conor in there. It'll be way too much. I think the 160, it's necessary that the fight's at 160. I think we saw the effects of trying to drain Chris to below his weight. We all know as fighters that making a weight is the lowest weight you can make. Even a few pounds below that, it can be detrimental to your health. And I think that played a big part in the aftermath of that fight build-up, and obviously it didn't go ahead. And then Chris fought Liam, which is a harder opponent on less notice after that. After draining himself down, so it's essential at 160. And Chris Senior's comments are right in the sense that it can be detrimental to someone's health. A lot of people haven't been there, haven't done it, and haven't seen it, and he has firsthand. And I'll stand by his view that this, it would need to be at 160 if it happens.
Last one for anyone tuning in to Channel 5 on Friday night. What can they expect from yourself, Harlem Eubank, as he steps up another level against Christian Uruzquieta? I believe that's how we say it. What should that people expect, mate?
Another explosive performance. See different aspects of my game, more developments, and a classy performance, an exciting one. So tune in, don't miss it.
Harlem, thank you very much for being to IFL TV, and best of luck on Friday night.
Thanks very much.
Refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day,